Hello, welcome all. So today's topic is all about alternative investment fund compliances for the AIF registered within India and AIF registered in the particularly gift city Gandhinagar. So in this video, I'll walk you all through with the meaning of AIF, how to register AIF in within India and in gift city. Then what is the major document for registration of AIF? What other mandatory registrations are required to be done by the AIF? What are the compliances and timelines for it? And finally, the act or say regulation reference in the end. So wait the video until the end. One more thing, if you haven't subscribed my channel yet, please subscribe it so that you don't miss any important video. And don't forget to click on the bell icon button. So let's start. So what is AIF? AIF means Alternative Investment Fund. Any fund which is established or incorporated in the India in the form of trust or company or LLP or body corporate, and which is privately pooled vehicle which collects funds from the investor, either Indian investors or say foreign investors, and then for investing in accordance with the defined investment policy for the benefit of the investors. So this is the meaning of AIF. There are three categories of AIF: category 1, category 2 and category 3. So I am not going into detail of this category part. My major focus will be on the compliance part. Okay, so as a compliance officer, if you wanted to be appointed as a compliance officer, what will be your responsibility and what should be the timelines and what should be the which regulations will be applicable. Next, how to register. So you have to submit an online application through SEBI intermediary portal if it is registered other than gift city. Okay. If you wanted to get AIF registered in gift city, then you have to submit the hard copy of the application form. It is already prescribed form is available on the IFSCA website. I'll mention the link for that application form in the description box. As well as the soft copy of the application which should be readable and searchable format along with the supporting documents, and the hard copy you have to submit on the IFSC office at the gift city, and soft copy you have to email on the emails given in the particular document. Okay, so this is the process. You have to also pay the application fee along with this doing the registration. Okay, one more point. If it is other than gift city, the amount to be submitted or say amount will be in rupees, but if it is in gift city, the amount will be in US dollar. Okay, so you have to pay application fees say 1500 USD. So it will be other than rupees, that is US dollar. Now, what is PPM? So, Private Placement Memorandum. It is the major document for registration of the AIF. It is a primary document which contains all the necessary information about the AIF which is going to disclose to the proposed investors. Okay, the template for PPM is already available. You have to follow that. There are few mandatory part and few additional parts. So you can fill the you have to fill the mandatory part and you have to also fill the additional part as per the applicability. Now you have to file this PPM through merchant banker. Okay. Okay. So merchant banker plays very important role in the registration of AIF. Okay. Next. Other registration. So which other mandatory registration should be done by AIF? So first, Financial Intelligence Unit, that is FIU, under PMLA regulation, that is Prevention of Money Laundering Act 2002. So you have to get it registered. So on its portal you can register online only, and through login credentials you will able to fill the details when it is applicable. Then other CKYC registration, that is Central Know Your Customer registration under CERSAI portal. So this is also available online. Then other KRA registration, this and any other registration as and when applicable. Okay. Okay. So these are the few mandatory registration. However, there may be additional registration depending upon the business of the AIF. For example, the AIF are having foreign investors, then it has to go with filing of few forms like Form DI, Form For that, you have to register the AIF on the forms portal, then form INVI, then FIFP portal. So this depends upon the business of the AIF. Okay. Now next about the compliances part. So post registration of the AIF, you have to do few compliances. I am highlighting major compliances over here, like appointment of compliance officer. So you have to make appointment of the compliance officer in the AIF. So investment manager makes the appointment of this compliance officer. So this compliance officer need not mandatory to be the CS. So as per this, this compliance officer should be the person other than the CEO, or the person who is on the similar role, similar role of the CEO, or on the same position depending upon the organization structure in that AIF. Okay. So that person can be any director or any employee other than the CEO or the similar position person. Okay. Ideally, there is no requirement that CS can only appointed. However, it is advisable that CS should be appointed as a compliance officer, because CS have the thorough knowledge about all the compliances which are applicable to AIF. Okay. Next, appointment of the custodian. Okay. So custodian should be appointed prior to date of first investment in the scheme. Then appointment of RTA, that is registered share transfer agent. Upon obtaining AIF registration, you have to make appointment of this RTA as well. Further, all the units should be, or say all the investment should be in the demat format only. Okay. Now other compliances. So I am highlighting the major points over here. There may be other compliances as well that you can get idea by through reading the regulations, or say the guidelines provided by the SEBI. Other compliances are quarterly compliance report. So this report gives the idea about the activities done by the AIF. Okay. So this report has to be filed within a period of 15 days from the end of the quarter. Okay. This report has to be filed online only on the SEBI intermediary portal. Okay. Next, annual CTR, that is annual compliance test report. So the investment manager prepares this report and he submits this to the sponsor or the trustee of the AIF, and the timeline is within 30 days from the end of financial year. On receipt of that CTR, the trustee or sponsor gives their comment, if any, within a period of 30 days from the receipt, and post receipt of that comments, the IM, that is investment manager, has to revise that and make changes according to their comments and resubmit that revised report within a period of 15 days from the receipt of the comments. Okay, so this is one annual CTR. Then annual report to the investors, this has to be submitted within a period of 180 days from the end of the financial year, that is 30th September. On or before 30th September. Annual audit of the accounts. This accounts audited goes with the annual report, so the timeline is same, on or before the 30th September. Now this is very important, PPM audit, that is audit that this is done also annually. Private placement memorandum audit. So this audit is particularly done to ensure that the AIF is complying with the whatever is mentioned in the PPM. It is going along with the PPM. Okay, PPM compliances. So this can be done by the internal auditor, or say external auditor, or by any legal professional. Okay. So the timeline is within 6 months from the end of financial years, and this PPM shows or gives the findings along with the corrective steps, if any, and it should be submitted to the AIF. That is, if the form of AIF, say company, then to the board of directors. If it is trust, to the trustees. If it is LLP, then to the designated partners of that AIF, and to SEBI. Okay, and to investment manager. Again, investment manager is company, then the board of directors of investment manager. If it is LLP, to the designated partner of the investment manager. So it goes to the 3 person: AIF, SEBI, and the investment manager. Now, if the company does not have raised any funds, then it is not required to conduct this PPM audit It has to, however, it has to take a certificate from the chartered accountant that it has not raised any funds during the year. So it is not required to do the PPM. One point I wanted to highlight here, this quarterly compliance report format is already provided. You can find this format are provided by AIF industry associations. You can find this format on the SEBI website itself. You can scroll down the website. On the last part you will find the FAQ tab, or click on that and search the quarterly compliance report. Over there you will able to find the format of this quarterly compliance report. Okay, and next, valuation of investment, then obtaining performance benchmarking, then disclosure of NAV to investor. So there are few other compliances which you have to done. For example, this valuation of investment can be has to be done half yearly, performance benchmarking half yearly. So there are so many other compliances. This is not direct responsibility of compliance officer for doing this type of compliances. However, compliance officer should be aware about the compliances to be done by the AIF. Either it is performed by himself, or say by manager, or say sponsor. Okay. Next, maintenance of continuing interest of sponsor or investment manager. So it is very important that the sponsor or investment manager is also interested in the AIF through their investment. So there is particular limit prescribed that there should be the minimum amount of investment by this investment manager or the sponsor of the AIF. Then stewardship code. So this is mandatory to be followed by the AIF in relation to their investment in the listed companies. Then due diligence with respect to the investors and the investments in the AIF. Then maintain the data of investors complaint in the specified format. Then post this comes to the event-based compliances. So for this, I'll cover this part and remaining part in the part 2 of this video.